Oh yeah, we back with another episode of The Twisted Tea, where we come to bring you the news with a twist. And over the weekend, on Friday we brought it to you that Lil Durk got arrested, cuffed up. Now, throughout the weekend, more and more stuff has came out. We were able to find the actual documents for his court documents, so we'll be bringing those to you. We're going to talk about a couple other things. He changed his faith. There was one of the murals that was basically torn up in Chicago. We're going to figure out whose more mural that was and maybe why. Let's see. So the feds went on to state that he was trying to flee the country and that he purchased a few tickets. All right. Let me take you to a couple of articles so we can get into what is going on with Durk. And then at the end of this, after we get into what's going on with Durk, we're going to give you a little bit of a rundown of TMZ. Shouldn't take long. I didn't see much. They ain't do much this weekend. So let's get in. Now, I'm going to hit that share screen button. And until we get all of this stuff figured out, like I know, it takes a second. So let's start here. Okay. We're going to start here and we're going to go down this article for you. Bang. Now, so Lil Durk, he was about to flee the country prior to being arrested. So the FBI, as you know, or may not know, which you probably should know by now, they said that Lil Durk did all the payments, set it up, and allegedly made it happen so that they went and shot up what's that, Quando Rondo's vehicle, ended up catching one of the cousins inside of all of this. So now he faces charges for, murder for hire plot. If he is found guilty and convicted of this murder for hire plot, they went on to say that he could not only face jail time, but also face the death penalty. Now, here's what I will say about the death penalty. Although it's kind of like one of those things where it's like one wrong wipes out and washes for another wrong, um, the death penalty gets a little interestingly messy because, like I said, it's like one wrong fixes another wrong. So some states have gone away with this death penalty, some states still have it. It just so happens the state that he's getting charged in, well, they still have it. Um, I think that, if they are to use the death penalty, it should probably not towards Dirk. I don't think anything he has done in this case, if it is to come out that he had paid for it and all of that stuff, I don't think he deserves the death penalty for any of that. I just don't think that it's gone that far, you know? Um, Even though they did state that there was funds being used from his label OTF to purchase, provide, and they did mention that we'll get into what they mentioned shortly inside of the when we get into the actual breaking down of the case files. So with this, it says that Little Dirk purchased a one-way plane ticket to international locations as federal agents closed in on arresting him for his alleged murder for hire plot. Oh, they got this Lizzo stuff up. That girl gonna be a Ozepic model. Okay, if y'all find that funny, well, you'll get the joke one day. Anyway, the U.S. Department of Justice accuses Lil Durk, Lick Dirk. Oh, is it me? Somebody spell checked that one wrong. Y'all see that, right? They accused Lick Dirk. Well, if Lick Dirk is getting accused, then, Lil Durk should be okay. All right? So all y'all who wanted him to go free, they only got Lick Dirk, so you'll be okay. Let's see. Prosecutor being alleged the mastermind behind the FBI's plot, as FBI agents arrested him at Miami's Opelika in an attempt to evade them hours before takeoff. Let's see what this is like. Accept cookies. Ain't that some crap? Exit. Accept cookies. Sorry, y'all. All right, let's see what they're giving us.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper, killing a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
So this is the scene, what took place in LA for when all of this was going on with Quando Rondo, as his cousin got hit up. Now, as you can see, they got bullet holes all through that. You can see all through the car. Look at the bullet holes. You can see it, right? So it definitely took place. That's not a question. Now, according to those documents obtained, the rapper had brought two separate one-way commercial flights to Dubai and Switzerland, neither of which he boarded. Now, a third attempt to evade the police was in a private jet scheduled to depart for Italy. So he was about to be eating good and drinking good wine if he got away with it, boy. But the FBI agents detained him an hour before his flight was set to take off, right? And as you can see, well, like somebody got the cuffs on here. Somebody else got the cuffs on there. But they had an ice cream shop. It don't look like they over here taking flights. That's probably what was going on in LA with some cuffs action. Chicago-born rapper Durk, full name, Durk Devontae Burks, reportedly arranged flights immediately after learning about his arrest of fellow OTF members. Kayvon Grant, DeAndre Wilson, Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asha Houston. They were all charged in that plot for taking the life of Quando Rondo's cousin. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other individuals are being charged in this. Now, calculated move that was believed that could bypass federal jurisdiction in an attempt to evade the FBI. Let's see. The FBI stated in documents that they alleged contact on Quando Rondo's life was supported in an attack basically to get back for King Von's death, who is a friend and, well, a worker at the time for Lil Durk. You know, Lil Durk and King Von were making songs, they were making money, and it was short-lived, by the way. Now, at the time of the murder, TB had a public feud with Banks, the prosecutors claim. And in November 6, 2020 murder, where an associate of TB shot and killed OTF rapper King Von. And, you know, they vowed, we're going to get him back, baby. And, you know, eye for an eye is how most things happen out in the streets. And to be honest with you, this one, eye for an eye, was not anything different from what was taking place out in those streets with your boy Lil Durk. Now, inside of all of the stuff that was going on with Lil Durk, I will say that years ago, they ended up putting up a nice little mural that was going on for him. And with that mural, they ended up going ahead and tearing that up. That mural just so happens to be of King Von in LA, out there in Chicago, by the way. Now, with this, the stranger part, right? I find it to be funny because all of this seems to come to light just shortly after your boy Dirk has decided to change his life. Now, let me take you to that because over, lately, over time, he's been doing more and more to give back to these communities and put back into helping out. And it shouldn't go unnoticed, but that isn't what they want for him. They want him to keep up with his gang culture. They want him to keep up with everything else he's been doing. And as you can see here, right? Let me take you to it. As you can see here, Little Durk was basically letting everybody know that he's denouncing his gang life, but keeping up with the Muslim faith. Even though, they saying he did this and the shootings took place and he was still hanging out with gang members, he's saying that he personally was trying to be better. And well, not necessarily be better, but he was trying to do better. I'm not saying, look, out there in life, you'll find that those that are in the gangs, there's a lot that goes on inside of people's homes, right? And you will find that there are gangs out there that make you feel like you are a part of a family. So, as messy as it may be, that becomes your brother, that becomes your sister. These are your family members out there. So, some people you never actually give up on, but you just step back from and you let them know, like, look, I'm not going to be a part of this part of everything, but we are definitely still family inside. And I think that's what he was doing. And when you are as deep as he was inside of all of this, there is no stepping back, technically speaking, right? If like I know, you don't really get out, especially when you've been funding a lot of the things that go on inside the community in general. They don't just let you out. And his music partners, when I say music partners, I mean his music associates, as far as the people who run and own these labels. Well, best believe they wanted him to continue to push that music. They wanted him to continue to push the dirt onto the rest of the nation. I'm not saying the music was bad. I was jamming out to some of them songs, but if you want to step back and be completely honest, it does, create some issues for the youth who believe in the actual music, right? I'm old enough and smart enough to go, all right, I can separate the two. Some people aren't old enough or smart enough to be able to separate the two. So unfortunately, it does do something for the youth. And that's what they wanted. They wanted the youth to continue to be a problem where, Dirk, right here, he tells you, don't call me nothing. Look, don't label me as nothing outside of a man, a father, and 1,000% Muslim. And as you know, lately he's been going by the voice, right? Because he's been trying to make a little bit more of a better life for those and speak more into positive stuff for everybody around him. So he clarified this. Now, this is an article that came up in 2019. I mean, in August of this year, which we're in 2024. But I'm pretty sure that over the last couple years, this has been something he's been doing. And for those who don't know, the Muslim faith is huge, right? I will say that I don't know if he joined the Muslim faith to necessarily get out of what was going on, or if he joined the Muslim faith so that he would have the backing of the Muslim faith. Because I watched something years ago and it was just a little irrelevant, but it touches around the same topic. It has something to do with Michael Jackson and his brother Tito, or Jesse, one of them, had joined the faith. And they go, listen, we told Michael to join the faith and he'd be saved. And they weren't referring to like him being saved as far as sins are concerned. They were referring to something deeper because they know that they're connected. Okay. And with that, that's why I say I don't know if he joined because he needed the connection or he was really trying to, be closer to the powers that be as far as your higher power in oneself and above. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do or he was just trying to be connected. Okay. So that way, when he went in, because listen, years ago, he knew already that they were going to come for him for something, because that was part of his contract that he made with them when he decided to take his oath to join, that he would take the arrest versus death or versus family members, even though we've seen, family members and other people go down around him. That was his oath that he chose to take. So he knew that this was coming. All right. Let me see something. Oh, they're going to take me to the X. You guys won't be able to see that. So we clicking out. But Durk says that he doesn't gangbang, and he reaffirms that his belief as a Muslim. Right? On here, let me see if I can zoom in. Look, got that DJ Khaled song. Oh, bang. I'm a Muslim. Basically, what I'm saying on my post in so many words is you can't do both. You can't do both, right? I'm going to be the one who says it. So if you follow me as a brother, a friend, an icon, follow me to my new chapter of my life. When I make music, I rap what I see and been through. Not telling you to do it. Huge difference. You see what I'm saying? Most people don't even understand that. So, I've just now reading that post, and I actually commend him for actually going out and stating that. Because, like I said before, most people get it, some people don't get it. Life and music are two different things. And that man was changing it for the better because he wanted to be a role model. And you know what? They don't allow that stuff to happen. Now, with that being said, we're going to dive out. We're going to pull up a little article on what they were stating for the courts, right? Because you know what? The courts get interesting. So give me a second. We're going to hit that share screen on you again. Give me a second. The courts get interesting. Yeah, let's dive into this. All right. Now, okay, right here, look, DOJ. It's straight off the DOJ, okay? Chicago rapper Lil Durk arrested on his complaint, alleging the order. Now, here's what we want to get into, right? We want to get into the people. I firmly believe there's a snitch, all right? There's a snitch. They've been telling us there's a snitch. We need to figure out who the snitch. They got an idea who the snitch is. All right. He done did an interview, little bald-headed individual now. He been with the gang for 12 years or longer. He said in the interview, we've been together since we were kids. So this is nothing new. I'm sure when he got out of jail, because the snitch went to jail, that they didn't expect for none of this to happen as far as him snitching. All right. Now, orchestrated the cold-blooded murder, attempts from the state. Let's see. Piecing together the undoings. According to the complaint filed on Thursday, Banks is the leader of a Chicago-based rap collective known as OTF. They believe OTF also acts as a group of individuals engaged in violence, including murder and assault. And they're basically saying that he gives the yeses and the nos. All right. Indicated in documents TB, the fraud system steamed in November 6, 2020, which associated shot and killed an OTF member. Bang, bang. Yep, we talked about all of that. Now, August 19th, 2022, several members of OTF, in which we've watched the video, they said that they were trailing them, tracking them. Hours shooting at gasoline stations located near the Beverly Center Mall. Here's what I will say. All right. I think that this was dumb, very stupid on their part, right? Like, okay, if they wanted to get him back and they wanted to murder him for, or whatever the case may have been, for what they felt was done, I don't know why you would go in LA, around gas stations, around main streets, okay? If you haven't learned anything about LA and several other places, by the way, they're all on camera, which is why they were able to pull up the cameras, pull up the license plates, pop open the shootings, and go, this is what's been taking place. Look at this individual, that individual, and this individual, because they were there. Right? I go, after 2020, why y'all ain't got the mask, right? All them ski masks on that these mask is, Pooh Shiesty mask that stuff right out. But no, here we are, broad day, doing dumb shit. Surprised? I'll be honest with you, I'm not. I'm not surprised, okay? Because this was stupid, right? Like, you all could have waited till he pulled up to where he was really going, right? But nope, y'all decided to do this in broad day so you could make sure that Lil Durk's ass was getting caught. Stupid friends, Durk, stupid friends. Now, in addition to Grant, the defendants also charged, which grand jury recognized on the 17th of October, are those four other individuals, right? They got Boogie, you got Brown Eyes, Flocka, and Dee Dee. All right. Now, with that though, going through the actual pages for the actual indictments, which we're gonna pull up in a second, you'll find they got some things crossed out in there. Yeah, they got some marks on there crossed out for some people not to be able to see who and what certain things are and or are going on. So we're gonna be pulling those up shortly, but let's see. It says these four defendants, along with Grant, we know they're being charged. These defendants made their initial appearance on Thursday in the District of Illinois and are expected to be arraigned in court in downtown. So they'll probably be flying them over there with the cuffs. A compliant, an indictment contains allegations for the defendant to commit the crimes. Now, as we all know, they always say every defendant is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And in a lot of cases, it ain't the case. But especially in the Diddy case, it damn sure ain't the case. Okay? I'm just saying. His information came out way before all of that took place. And before he could even get to court, they go, he did it. All right. So innocent until proven guilty. Well, I think in our court of law is pretty much the opposite, is guilty until you can prove your innocence. And that's what they should say, but they don't say it. That's 100% what they should say, and they don't say. What I'm going to try to do really fast, right? I want to try and find that the actual paperwork from the court system. Let me see something real quick. Let me get that paperwork from the court system. Figure out how to do it. I think that's it right there. Let me hit you with it. All right. So let me see if you all can see that paperwork from the court system. Cool. You're seeing that? That's beautiful. We're on it. Now, you see what it says. It says criminal compliance by telephone and other reliable electronic means. Look, Dirk Banks, aka Lil Durk, aka Mufasa Abdul Malika. Is that what he changed his name to since he went Muslim? Well, I don't think he'll be saying that in the songs, but now we know his other AKA Mufasa Abdul Malika. Okay, we're gonna have to do a little digging on something on that, but figure some stuff out. I'll bring it to you. But the case was filed. Bang bang. 4 days ago. Now, I blank are being sworn to declare as state follows, right? They got that blacked out. Okay. This affidavit is in support of a criminal complaint. Now, against the arrest warrant against Burks, well, Lil Durk, for violation of 18 C yada 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 conspiracy to use interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death. The facts set forth in this affidavit are based on my personal observations, my training and experiences, information, and various law personal witnesses. You see, they got some blacked out stuff in here. And obviously, like, most of this stuff went out to the public, right? This was pulled off one of their things, but they clearly don't want certain things out because they don't really want you to know who's snitching in case somebody decides to take out the rat, right? They're like, oh, they done took out everybody else. You see, due to serious safety concerns, this does not provide the identity of these witnesses. Based on FBI's investigation, I know the witnesses and their family members have already received threats or have been contacted in what appears to be an attempt to influence their participation in this investigation. Listen, no faces, no cases. Old school. Now, as detailed below, members of OTF used 2 vehicles and worked in a tandem to track, stalk, and attempt to murder TB at the gas station located in Los Angeles, which is why I said that was stupid, because they were going to do that. They should have did that in a smaller, private, or quieter place, or at least did it with some silencers, or ran up on them and hit them with a jab pen or something. Y'all heard. If you did, I'm going to tell you, if you ain't heard what Suge Knight said, man, we don't shoot them no more. We just jab them. Easy. Come on, Durk, get connected. Now, rounds at the vehicle, striking and killing one of the individuals in the vehicle on October 17th. The grand jury is sitting in Central District Court, California, returned an indictment, charged 5 individuals. We've been talking about the 5 individuals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With their crimes revolving around what was going on. Now, case Banks is identified as a co-conspirator in the indictment, which is here on the reference. Based on the investigation as described below, evidence shows that Banks ordered TB's murder with the hitman and used Banks and OTF-related finances. Here's where the problem comes, right? Here's where the problem comes. You're using the OTF finances. Man, you ain't got personal stuff you could have used. You could have called a cousin's cousin, sister's brother's brother and been like, yo, $500, buy this. Come on, man. You know better. You know better. Be honest, man. All that stuff doesn't make you smarter, okay? You should know how to get away with this stuff. Clearly, you wasn't trying. For example, bank and flight records show OTF members and close associates of Banks, co-conspirator, coordinates and basically paid for Jones, Lindsay, Wilson, Houston, and other members to travel from Chicago to California day before the murder. Okay. Listen. All right. Now, it's going to sound messed up because I'm giving y'all tips. But, bro, how stupid do you need to be to have them travel days before it happens? Okay. That isn't how this stuff works. Okay. Number one, it should be 3 weeks. 3 weeks before, right? So now it just looks like, yo, we out here on business. Now, I'm just saying. You're going to do it, you do it right. Clearly, they were looking to get caught. Paid for 3 flights using the credit cards linked to the OTFs. I have to take a deep breath because that's just dumb. All right. You don't use credit cards linked to your company. Around the time number 3 purchased those flights, and the iRecords show the phone number associated with Banks' text co-conspirator, don't book no flights under no names involved with me. Additionally, look, man, if y'all really wanted to get away with this, y'all should have took the train or a bus and took the time to travel. This is just dumb. Additionally, on the same day that the hitmen traveled to California from Chicago, Banks also traveled to California with another charge co-conspirator, Grant, on a private jet. Later that day, Grant purchased ski masks for the shooters using to commit the murders. Now, you're in LA, all right? There's no reason that Grant would need to purchase ski masks when you got 450 bums all over the place. Again, here's $100. Take your ass in the store. I need 6 masks. Hello? Why are we using credit cards and not cash is beyond me. Anyways, early that morning, federal and local law enforcement execute multiple search warrants at the locations associated with the OTF members in and around Chicago. Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, Houston snatched up after the searches. Now, if any of them are going to turn and talk, that's going to be interesting to see, you know. That's going to be real interesting to see. I do know that in a lot of the songs, you know, Durk talks about a lot of the killings, a lot of the stuff. He even just referenced some stuff that was going on in the last album. He just referenced, he got an album coming out real soon too, where he just referenced some things that may have gone on. And it's like, although I don't believe that they should be able to use the lyrics for cases and inside the cases, I do believe people need to be smarter about what they choose to say. As I think it was YMLE, who had the whole thing where he talked about the killing of the other person and and they aired that all out. Like, again, man, I get it. It's a song. But when there's truth to it and there's facts that fall into the scene, it doesn't just become a song. It becomes an actual statement showing what really, truly took place and happened. So you should watch that. Just saying. Anyways, the Chicago-based hitman traveled to Los Angeles to murder the rival of Banks. The grand jury did their thing. As alleged, in August 19, 2020, SR and others, including his family member TB, a rap artist known as QR, which is Quando Rondo for those who don't know, were involved in a vehicle at the gas station from the Beverly Hills Center. Bro, you're in Beverly Hills. You're in Beverly Hills, okay? That is like attempting to shoot somebody on the grass of the White House. It doesn't make sense. You could have went around the corner from the White House or around the corner. Listen, I've been in California, okay? I know that it would have been a 15-minute ride from where it took place where no one would have cared. I'm just saying. No one would have cared, okay? If you waited 15 more minutes and went down the street with these individuals, no one would have cared. But you did it in Beverly Hills at a gas station. Like I said, it's like being on the White House's grass committing murders. It's gonna be seen. When you could have went down the street and around the corner, right? And I know plenty of people from the area in Washington, D.C., and they go, look, yeah, it looks nice on the grass of the White House, but go ahead, step out. Walk down the street and take a left, take a right, and it gets different. You could have did it right there. Nobody would have cared. Nobody. Now, I'm not saying that killing is cool because it's not, all right? But I'm just saying if you were going to do it, which it seems like they were going to do regardless, it could have been done in a better manner, a little smarter. Just saying. Now, according to open sources reporting a witness, banks placed monetary bond on TB's life. So in order for them to even know that, there would have had to been the snitch, which we know there's a snitch because right here, they told us there's a snitch. That's them telling us there's a snitch, right? Right there. That's them telling us straight up, yo, we got a snitch, right? And I guess it's up to us now to figure out the snitch. Because it's not just the one person. I don't think that the one person that they had the wire on is the only snitch in this. No. I think some other people yeah, the messed up part to it is the person that had the wire on that everybody's throwing out there as the snitch, which probably is a snitch. When he came home, he openly talked about how Durk took care of the family, dropped him off some money, made sure that he was right and that his people were right. And while he was locked up, they made sure he was still right. You know, they didn't care about it. And look, it just goes to show, right? When you do stuff, you make sure you do it smart and by yourself. Because not everybody can be trusted. Now, all right, so we was right here. I'm sorry, I was moving. We were right here. Additionally, on the same day, the hitman traveled to California with Banks. He traveled too with the other person on a private jet. Later that day, Grant purchased those ski masks, paid for the co-conspirators' hotel rooms using a credit card in his name. Look, man, you all couldn't have slid the money. Like, bro, you couldn't have. Hey, I know you got 10 bands in the safe. Pull them 10 bands out. Take it to so-and-so. Tell him to put that on a private card, right? Tell him go put it on a prepaid. Cover all of this like that. You know, it's just backwards. So earlier this morning, federal and local law enforcement execute those raids. In those areas, based on my training, it looked like we just rereading that one again. Based on the trainings, even though, yep, Hitman traveled. This is all really repetitive. 1 second. What is this? Based on open source research, I know that Banks has attempted to publicly distance himself from the gang, which is pretty much what we were showing you all earlier, because he did try to distance himself from him, and he's joined the nation, right? Launches the Dirks Banks Scholarship Fund. You know, they took the key back from him on the city. And the money that he gave the city, which was like 150 bands, they were like, he should be giving that back too. The city should be giving that back to him. As described above in a footnote 1, due to significant concerns of Whitney's safety. Yep. Little Durk says that he ain't a felon anymore and that his criminal record was cleared. Listen, okay? I get all into the belief and the mindset and all of that. I get it. I get it. But your criminal record was cleared and cleaned, and then they threw this on it, right? Because they want to make sure. Now, for those who don't know, okay, Lil Durk's been arrested a lot of times. All right, this won't be his first time seeing them handcuffs. All right, Lil Durk used to stay in trouble. Lil Durk's father is doing a current prison sentence right now and should be getting out soon. And it's unfortunate because when he gets out, if all of this checks out in the manner of which they have all the information, Lil Durk's going in. And he lost his brother. So the father's coming home with two of his sons, one dead, unfortunately, and one going in. So it is a mess. Investigators to date include controversies with the law enforcement agents. Basically, Houston and Wilson associated with OTF, Lindsay and Jones are associated with other gangs in Chicago, using the funds linked to banks. I know the following based on my review of LAPD reports, surveillance, bank records, flights, witness, homicide detectives. On the 18th, a day before his murder, they learned the locations of where they would be. After the members learned this, they followed the men, took a one-way flight from Chicago to San Diego. And then, so they drove down from San Diego. The one-way ticket to San Diego was purchased using American Express credit cards ending in that. Okay? And in the same co-conspirator 3 who also associated with OTF on record from Apple. Based on records from Apple, wow. They pulled up them iPhone records. I know that on the same day, a number ending in bleep, believed to be associated with banks, sent a text message to co-conspirator 3 stating, "Don't book no flights using my name." Yeah, they pulled up the iPhone records. Look, man. That's why BlackBerry was what it was, okay? And all your the biggest stayed on their BlackBerries because they know they wasn't able to just pull up those records. I know that Grant rented and paid for the rooms in a Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, California, using the American Express card ending in that. Those 4 men stayed at the hotel the night before, tracked, stalked, and attempted to kill him. Based on my review of the bank records, I know that in this credit card the 2039 credit card and the 1015 credit card were issued under an account belonging to AO and Astronaut Sounds LLC. Based on public information, I know that AO was Banks' manager in and around 2022. Wow. Georgia's Secretary of State Online Incorporation showed that Astronaut Sounds LLC was initially registered by AO in 2017. A request of amendment was filed in 2021 and a new manager, Banks, was added to the business. The bank records also show that Astronaut Sounds American Express account had 4 credit cards issued to 4 individuals. Banks, co-conspirator 3, Banks, father, DB, and AO. So, co-conspirator 3, co-conspirator 3. You know what's funny? Co-conspirator 3, as you know, like I know, we don't see it. They're being protected. They're being protected. Right? So, co-conspirator 3, he's snitching. Sorry, one second. I'm just trying to fly through the paperwork for you all. Real quick. Based on an investigation included, okay, the ski mask signs. Universal, based on the records. Okay, yep. All right, a request for an addendum was filed in 2021. Yep. Now, sorry. Based on a new review of the records from a private airplane company, I know that Banks and Grant flew to the same airplane from Los Angeles to Miami on August 16th and back to Los Angeles on the 18th, the day before the murder. Records from the rental property show that Banks manager AO rented a house in California July 1st to October 22nd. You know, what gets me with all of this is how all of them are all still playing out there, right? Now, I get why they're out there. Like, it's a music scene. You got to do certain things. You got to be in certain places, right? Which is why you're back and forth between, Miami, Atlanta, which Durk moved out of Chicago and got a house down in Atlanta. So that's not even like his permanent residence right now is definitely in Atlanta. And I'm sure he stays out in Miami from time to time. But those are the music places. So you're bouncing back and forth. But with his manager having a place all the way from July to October, based on the investigations, photographs of the interior from the rental, I know video footage from the 18th podcast shows that the host of Podcast with Banks appears to be inside that home on the 18th. So, he got it looking like he's doing work, right? Lil Durk got it out there where it looks like he's doing the work and he's busy, right? So, that being said, we would be like, oh, yeah, he's out there on business. And he did it, and he was covering his tracks. But again, look at this. When you use the money from your accounts, that's dumb. On the day of the murder, surveillance shows that TB and SR and others leaving their hotel in Los Angeles enter a black Cadillac. Now, look, I think y'all had a better chance of just running up on them inside their hotel room. Straight up. Inside the hotel, y'all had a better chance. I know it would have been on film like the Diddy attack, but it might have been less versus what you got to deal with now. Los Angeles entered the black Cadillac. Surveillance was taken from numerous locations throughout Los Angeles, including TB's hotel, the gas station where the murder occurred, showing two vehicles following the Escalade. Now, one vehicle was a white BMW, which we did see the pictures for, right? The TMZ had all the pictures for that. They had that white BMW that was following, and then they had another one following also. All right, let's see. It says one vehicle was the white BMW and the other was a white Infiniti. Yeah, that's also stupid. All right, because y'all could have chose darker cars. Among other things, surveillance videos from the murder scene shows Vehicle 2, you see, I think the problem lies where, all right, I know I'm stopping, my fault, but you know where they come from, they shooting outside. They shooting outside, and guess what? Ain't nobody investigating. They don't care, right? So they probably figure, yeah, boy, we do this all day. Ain't nobody caring. We going to bus. But you in LA, right? If you was inside of the areas where they gang bang, you might have gotten away with that. But you was in Beverly Hills. Even the gangbangers know they go do house robberies in Beverly Hills. They don't try to go doing no murders in Beverly Hills. Pop Smoke got hit, but that wasn't what was supposed to happen. Or was it? Did they happen to have a nice little life insurance policy on him when it happened? Now, where the three shooters were wearing black masks, exited the vehicles, later identified as co-conspirator 2 and co-conspirator 3 seem to be just that, talkers. These three, right, Lindsey Jones and a co-conspirator 2, walked to the gas station and opened fire on the Escalade. Shooters ran back to the vehicles and drove away. Vehicle 1 drove away from the scene just minutes before the shooting. Approximately 50 minutes later after the shooting, surveillance videos from In-N-Out restaurant, man, that's In-N-Out burger. Let's be real. All right? Ain't no restaurant In-N-Out. That's In-N-Out burger. Okay? Y'all better keep it real. Shows that Grant Jones Wilson arrived in vehicle 1. The video also shows that Lindsey and number 2 arrive at In-N-Out in a black SUV. Based on the surveillance video, the murders from the video shown from the In-N-Out burger, law enforcement identify that Lindsey Jones and number 2 were involved with operating, firing, and killing SR. Now, based on the investigation, here we go. Inside these fancy marks, based on the investigation, was primary driver Grant was the primary driver of the murder vehicle. As discussed, now, if I'm not mistaken, Grant was the one that got out. Yeah. As discussed above, in addition to driving the vehicle, Grant took steps to help facilitate the murder, including booking hotel rooms, hiring for the hitman, rooms for the hitman. Additional GPS with the murder vehicle shows that the vehicle was parked outside sporting goods store and approximately purchased the 4 black ski masks when you could have sent a bum in. Banks books multiple international flights, law enforcement, conspiracy, executive search warrant. Now, look, shortly after making these arrests, search warrants on the 24th received notification from Customs and Border showing that Banks had been booked as a passenger on 2 international flights, one-way tickets from Miami to Dubai, and connecting through Ecuador, scheduled to depart on the evening of the 24th. One-way flight from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland, connecting Viva Jersey, also scheduled to depart. Here's what I don't get. Okay. He's booked all of these flights back and forth through actual agencies, right? With his name listed and being shown. But earlier in this, they basically come out and show us and tell us that he is flying from, that most of his flights have been private, right? So my question is, if he was going to run, why wouldn't he just did it private? Hello? You book all those other flights with your name on it. So now it shows you're here, 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 and here, or could be there. They'll also go and be like, oh, well, he never actually checked in. He should have sent a double or a lookalike to check in. Okay, I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't have been hard to find. Send somebody else, check in as you. They're over there now. They think you there. You on your private jet getting up out of here. But, he must have wanted to get caught. Anyways, approximately at 6:40, the FBI received an additional CB notification that Banks had booked as a passenger on a private plane. See what I'm saying? Departing for Italy's destination, because that's where he does fly. But what I don't get what that is. So based on open source, I believe that the UAE, which would have been Dubai, does not have extradition treaty with the United States. So he might have been fine over there just to chill and relax, right? Obviously, this isn't a full out paperwork, but it is pretty much everything that they got listed in a lot of that paperwork. Approximately the FBI, in addition, at that time. So approximately 8 p.m., he was arrested by law enforcement. Conclusion: for all the reasons described above, there is probable cause to believe that he basically violated 18 USC as 1958, a conspiracy to use interstate facility to commit murder for hire resulting in death. And they'll probably try and go for the RICO, seeing how this has been connected to businesses and that they want to remind us that he has been a part of gangs. So the best way to do that and show that would be, well, connect him to the RICO and bring it all up. Now, with that being said, I want to say thank you for tuning in, following, and keeping up. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel, as we will be pulling up more and more stuff as we go. Every day, new things will pop up on the channel, so I want you all to be able to check it out. Now, like I was stating earlier, King Von's mural was destroyed, tore up. After all of this, seeing how Young Durk's in jail, they ain't got nobody to protect it. So they said, scratchy, 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 scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. We gonna make it happen like this. And I don't know. I know that back in 2019, I think it was, or 2021, when they put the mural up, there was a big controversial all over the city for what was going on with that even being on there, because a lot of people felt like he was going around causing a lot of havoc. So some people wanted it, some people didn't want it. So it isn't a surprise that now that things are going on with Durk, that has been snatched up and defamed and defrauded. But hey, I want you all to go ahead and enjoy your day. Don't let this mess with your day if it ain't got nothing to do with you. Enjoy it. Thank you for checking out the Twisted Tea. We appreciate that. Thank you for those likes. I haven't even gotten to see if you happen to leave comments. I appreciate that, and I'll be sure to comment back. With that being said, peace out.